Hello everyone, welcome to the third episode of Good News where we talk about the positive events of the week. In the previous episode, we talked about Pratibha Setu, a portal launched by the government to provide employment to UPSC aspirants who crack the mains but are not able to make it to the final list. And before that, we talked about Kerala becoming the first state to be free from extreme poverty. You can watch both these videos from the playlist or the link shared in the description below. This week, we are going to talk about the impact of the GST 2.0, but before that, let's recap the condition of the Indian economy to understand how things have unfolded in the past few months and years. The government was doing everything right, but the consumption was declining, and earlier the money that the government handed over to the corporates in the form of tax rebates to boost employment, consumption and the economy had not worked in their favor. So this time the government decided to directly hand over the tax benefits into the hands of people and see if it could boost consumption and the economy itself, and the change in strategy might have worked for the government. Consumption contributes to 60% of India's GDP, and when the government announced the new tax rates on 3rd September, it handed over 2 lakh crore rupees into the hands of the people. How exactly? By reducing the tax slab that reduced the tax on various items. The tax reduction from 28% to 18% and from 18% to 5% impacted 11 of the top 30 consumption items. This, according to CRISIL, covered almost a third of an average household's monthly expenditure. Another report suggests that if a middle class family spends about 10,000 on groceries, the new GST rate could save 400 to 600 for the family. Since the tax reduction also impacted other items like electronics, two-wheelers and four-wheelers, let's see how these items performed after reducing the tax rates on them. The National President of Confederation of All India Traders says that its sales across the country topped 6 trillion rupees or $67.6 billion, with items like jewelry, electronics, apparels, furnishing and sweets being the most in demand. Reports also suggest that spendings are expected to increase by 8.5% as compared to the same duration previous year. Since the price of cars and SUV reduced too, mini cars like Maruti Espresso, Alto K10 saw a reduction in the price by more than a lakh, whereas Fronx and Brezza saw a similar price reduction, and it reflected in their sales too. The senior executive officer of Maruti Suzuki says that the company had a growth of almost 20% as compared to the previous year. Mahindra and Mahindra almost doubled its sales growth to 26% as compared to the same month last year. Talking about two-wheelers, their retail sales during the 42-day period jumped by 22%, and the three-wheelers sales grew by 9%. Overall, the total retail sales across vehicle categories rose by 21% during the festival period this year. But all this came at a cost too. Since the government reduced the tax slabs, it collected 48,000 crore less revenue, but that should not be a concern because the government has been collecting the highest ever taxes in the last few months and years after the GST rollout. The boost in the sales of various products has been supported by the lowest inflation in the last 8 years. So that's all from the latest episode of the Good News this week, and thanks for watching this video till the end. The videos shared on this channel are backed by credible facts from verified sources. Making such videos require a great attention to detail, weeks of research and days of editing, so do consider subscribing and sharing the video with someone who might like the content.